Hey, what is up, fellow professional traders? This is the Wolf, and welcome to the Wolf Den Trader Recaps. Today, what a day. What a day, taking profit on 6 tickers: CETX, RAD, ATOS, DOVA, XSPA, and closing out that swing on GROW. Rebecca, roll executions. Thank you. Now, today, like I said, we had a lot of things popping off. I remember making a comment saying, man, we got some decent amount of money coming into small caps this morning. The main play, the main runner, the strongest ticker of the day, in my opinion, was CETX. Now, last recap, I said I was going to ensure that I can show you guys these notes. So, spent a little bit extra time and save these charts from the beginning of the day. Now let's go ahead and roll real quick over to the Jumbotron. Let's take a look and see what's going on with CETX. Now you can see this is a 3-year chart. As always, $65 we're trading. So kind of trashy. Then I look and I see this over here. Ding, ding. We see 1 for 8 reverse split on 6, 13, 19. Now, if I just zoom back, here's the channel, the volume profile, which we always use. Right here's the main consolidation from today. Now look at today, actually. Right here, we traded 25.8 million, but relatively 244 times the 90-day average. Now, this reverse split might have altered that data, but generally, we got a lot of volume coming in on this stock today, and that's all I'm trying to put into your head. We also had some news, some merger. They had 6 million. Blah, blah, blah. Really, I just know that this thing is going to pump up on volume, and it's trash. So I spend a little bit of time in the morning on every ticker. We open up the books. We do everything. We run through our repertoire. If you guys want to hop in Wolf Training, hop in. It's free, and we'd love to have you guys. Now, with that said, I pick out my levels off of the higher time frame, and I am under the thesis that $4 is a possible resistance. Now, I add into a $4 thesis, and I'm light. I allow this to break away from me up into the 450s. Now, that's not how we do it. This one kind of slipped away from me. This is an error. So I'm already behind on this trade. Let's zoom in a little bit. No, I should have cut. There should have been a hard stop here. I did not. We come up to the next level of resistance at 460, and I add, coming up with a $4.27 average right now. Now, why am I not trimming right here? Now I need to trim. I think I tried to trim 1.6. I'm not sure what this is right here, but this is a trim right here. Now I'm already carrying shares up into the next consolidation or the next exhaustion of strength, or just the next push. This thing is wicked strong, right? So I have a 427 average. We come down into 415, 417. Now I should take at least half the position off, or I should at least take half of the position off, carrying shares up over like that. That's a new rule, all right? Right in front of you guys. If I carry up over shares, if I carry up the full amount of shares up into the next consolidation, mandatory half cut. All right, so then I do a 75 position hard stop right here. As you can see, these are my trade notes, and these are my averages throughout the day. Now, I re-enter the trade at 486. Now my new average is 434. So my average is way, way down here, right around here. Not good, right? We're behind. This is not how we trade. This is a poor example of how to handle the front, and learn from my mistakes, please. So I start taking profit. Now I'm kind of figuring this out. I'm also in other trades at this point, but no excuses. So I'm taking profit here at 460. I'm definitely smacking some profit in at 440. And then I make the first major error on the executions, and I cut the full position right here. Now, I did not want to cut the full position. I wanted to get, I always like to carry some of the position in case we get that mega fade. And this is an error. I'm highlighting it. Error. Full take profit. That's not my intention. So I hurry up and I add the size back, thinking that this thing is just going to go to $1 without me. Emotions are going right now. I'm still a little bit in the red, but we're getting that first push off of VWAP. Look, we didn't even touch. We got a wick off of like $4. VWAP is down here at 380. This thing is still strong. Longs are getting in right here, waiting on this. They're stepping over each other to get in. That's why we got this wick and no touch. Now, that's just my opinion. So I jump in. Now I have no shares, so I'm working into a position, and my thesis is of a lower high. Now, here's a higher high. Now we have a lower high. Now I can switch over to backside strategy. So here's my average. At this point, I'm adding. Now I have a 430 average. So my previous average was 436 because of this terrible trading right here. Now I'm flat, almost probably close to green, and I'm reestablishing the trade. Hopefully we're in the backside. So 430 average, taking profit. Now I'm a little bit better on my toes, and I'm starting to get dialed in with the order flow, taking profit. Now I want to save some. I probably am half out of the position right here, and I want to save some liquidity for that mega fade. That's why we're in this trade, baby. So we get underneath VWAP, and I know better. Even I know as a rookie trader, I'm not shorting this thing under VWAP. I'm not shorting this thing at VWAP. Then we push up. I wait. Now, this is good for me because usually I'm all over this. I'm pausing. I'm letting the tape catch its breath. I'm letting the ticker I want it to return back to homeostasis, right? I want it to neutralize and just get more back to its normal status. And this is what I'm letting it do. I'm letting it expand. I'm letting it contract. I'm letting it soak. And I'm watching this thing. This is a living, breathing beast, right? And the tape, it eats, it sleeps, it shits. The tape is a living entity, in my opinion, and I'm watching it. Now I get a conviction right here to put an order out, and I top ticket. Now this ad was 425. Multiple orders, multiple fills on 425, carrying a little bit of shares over from here. Now I'm working a decent average. I have a 427 average and a 431 cut. And I do not trigger. And I just start taking profit instantly. We just get an instant stuff right here off this double top 425 stuff. And I already have my targets out, and I'm just releasing, right? I need to get back in the green. After this flush, I'm in the green. And now I'm not wanting to give this profit back. I've heard professional traders say you only need to get rich once. Don't give it back. So I'm far from that, but this is an example of me protecting my precious capital and getting back into green status, which I am. Now, we consolidate, we're up and down, over and under VWAP, figuring out what we want to do. And we get massive push, massive squeeze off of this consolidation. Now, I don't touch this thing because I want to see what it's going to do. We have this massive expansion to the downside, and I just don't get a confirmation to re-enter. Right here, I'm watching, and we expand, massive expansion. I'm catching ads up at 450, catching top tick at 460, and then we breathe a little bit. Now I should know better because they're holding the bid up, so they're basically squeezing out shorts, and they're forcing them to cover into a higher bid, and they also have a spread on this too as well. I think the spread, I don't remember exactly, but I think that's what they were doing. But either way, I didn't cut. I wanted to give this a little bit more room. I didn't think that it was going to have another push. Now look at this move. We're going from $5 down to 360. I don't think that we're going to put in a new high a day. Statistically speaking, I was wrong. Right, the odds are that we will not put a new high a day in off of 140% push. Now we consolidate. Now we have an additional leg 3, 54% push. And I stopped out 75% of my position, and I re-enter at $5. Now here I'm trying to get in, and I'm not going to chase it, but I have orders out. And I just didn't get filled. And I wasn't in a hurry to jump back in this after this move right here. This thing could just destroy me. So I'm trying to be a little cautious. And now my average is 25% from 445 and 75% from $5. So my average don't have the average up here, but it's around 470, 480, somewhere up here. Now I'm taking profit. This is a massive flush. Now I have targets already established from here. I have covers, and maybe down here I had a couple more. Once we filled right here, I definitely set an additional target out, and this is a major error, and I overfill. So I over trim, and now I'm in a long position. Now this happens to me. Here's executions. So I'm running 7 stocks today in that flow state. Now the flow state is when you are around 4 to 8% beyond your natural ability. And I'm beyond what I can handle with 7 tickers or 6 tickers. I'm in swings, I'm in multiple positions, I'm core trading, I'm getting squeezed, and these are errors. Straight up, no excuses. These are errors, and I left too many orders out. I mean, that's what it is. So on the fly, we get this massive flush. I'm in a long position now at $4, and I don't catch it right away, and I look, and now I'm like, what do I do? This is a new situation for me. Now, instead of automatically cutting, I come up with the thesis to, first I want to get out, so I'm going to chase the sell. Now, I could have waited and tried to sell up top, but if we continue to flush, I'm in major trouble with this long. So I want to get out as fast as I can, also taking a few seconds to try and formulate a plan. Now, what I come up with is a chase sell, and I oversell it to flip my bias. I'm still short bias, and now we're under VWAP. This is a massive, I think this is a 30-cent retracement. So I'm like, let's just take this thing down. So I oversell, excuse me, and now I'm back in a short position. Now, my thesis with adding a little bit of liquidity, like an additional 500 shares down here, was that I would add to it if we got to, hold on, excuse me, still still have a little cough, but I was going to add some liquidity back at 470 and 490 and try to bring my average up over here. Now, normally what I would do, I would be killing it right here on this I had a 455 line all day on my chart, and I would have been hitting that line, or maybe 445, but I would have probably gotten here. I would have hit all these more than likely, and I missed that. I forfeited the opportunity because I did not want to put more liquidity here and then have a squeeze. I just can't. So I forfeited these ads, looking for more liquidity to get in up here to ultimately have an average here to get out of the position here. Now, that never happened. We never got up to that next consolidation between 470 and 505. This is where I wanted to get in. So I let this thing fade. I close. We're weak into the close, and I'm carrying around 500 shares into after hours. This thing is weak, in my opinion. So I take profit at 338, and then I have a 303 target, and I'm just getting bored and I want to get out. I got to do all these charts, and we're putting up things for the runner's room. So I take it off at 310. Now this was a winner. This was a winning trade. Many errors. This chart will continue to stay with me, and there's more learning on this chart than good. Hope you guys did better on it. Now let's pull up a nice chart, ATOS. And the reason why I have to pull up a new chart is I don't know how to synchronize my averages and my passive liquidity numbers. So this is how we have to do it. ATOS. Now ATOS, we know the name. We've all traded this, unless you're newer traders, but we know what time it is when ATOS pops up on the scanner. We're short bias on it. This thing likes to have an emotional spike, and it dumps. So phase 2 trial of tropical exfoliation cream, whatever that is right there, to take away some breast density. Now, without going too much into the news, I formulate a thesis off of their books. How much money do they have? Do they have dilution? Do they have warrants? Are they active on a shelf? Stuff like that. I didn't hit the books too hard on this one, so I can only tell you how I traded it, and I traded it off of a purely technical aspect and off the order flow. Now, I have 6 trades today, so I'm not going to go to the Jumbotron on every trade. But ATOS, we do have thesis. We do have a resistance thesis around 315. Now this is pre-market at 8 o'clock in the morning. We finally get a wick and we look like we have some exhaustion. So I enter the trade. Now the tape is looking good. So I get a confirmation and I add more size. Now I'm not thinking that this is just going to sell off. So I trim a position, I recycle it back, bottom tick, top tick. Now I was hoping, now this could just be me thinking wishfully that we would get another leg so that I could short it again even higher and get more profit. But I trimmed that VWAP and this thing was weaker than I thought. Like I said, I wanted to will it to go up. It didn't go up. All of these sell orders, even though that they're off of a recycle, these sell orders are off of a 315.8 average. And then I wish I had my buy liquidity average, but I ended up selling that probably around $3. So, 15-cent scalp, 15-cent scalp, over and over again, boom, boom. That adds up. Now, during this time, the scanners are going crazy. I mean, you guys were there. You saw it. I mean, we got a lot of plays today. So this does not interest me. I have this on side watch and I have the tape up. If this thing wants to push super high, I'm going to be alerted through the tape and then I'm going to pull it up on main watch. But at this point, I'm doing more research. I set out technical targets. Now this was a beauty. This was 250, 252 cover. Beautiful. Love that. Excuse me. And then we get another push. Now I remember talking to some guys in the room. Everyone had their own opinion on this. I thought we were going to form a lower high. I did not attack it here at 295, but I did jump in at around $3 with the smaller size. And then I ended up waiting for the exhaustion move, hitting it on the way down with the 308 average. And then at this point, once we get down to VWAP right here, I'm just setting targets. My job is done, and I set a target out at 263 and 252, and I don't even know if I looked at this chart again. I put my stop out. My stop was out at like 325 or something like that. I don't even remember, to be honest. This was a small size trade, but this is a beauty. I like this one. This one's special to me. This is a beautiful recycle. And man, it's just a gorgeous chart. The best thing about this chart is that 83.34% of the entire trade is passive liquidity using limit orders. Okay, that's ATOS. Let's take a look at RAD. Now, RAD, Rite Aid, is getting a little bit of a pump today because Democrats in the Congress are offering aid or something to do with Medicaid. And Rite Aid sells drugs, basically. Like I said, I'm not going to jump into the news crazy, but what I did was, let's hop over to the Wolf Den. So I did, because everyone's asking me, how'd you top tick this? How'd you do that? So right here, before the stock was even at $8, I used my 3-year volume profile and I zoom in on that and I mark the levels off the previous volume deposits. That's how these things move. They move in waves off of previous volume. Previous volume is resistance. Previous volume is support. So I'm marking these levels, and this level up top at like 963 is, in my opinion, the densest consolidation, giving me the best chances for resistance. Now, I put my orders out when we were at $8, and I didn't even look at this thing until ding ding, I get filled. I look up real quick, and then I'm like, oh, nice. It comes back up, exhaustion into my previous orders, and then a flush. Now I have an amazing 957 average, and this is just a beautiful trade. I wish this would happen more often. And what do? I ruin the trade by making an error. Now my target is based also off of these levels. My target was 877 off of this, right? So we're trading like in this area, and I want to target out at 857, I get a little emotional because I don't want to watch it. I'm in other trades. I'm core trading other stuff. I just don't want to sit here and watch Rite Aid fade down, 3 cents every 30 seconds. So I get out at 895, and I'm trading this on a side montage. No excuses, but I'm trading this on a side montage, and I click my position size because I want to make sure what my size is. And instead of adjusting the share size, I sell the full position. Mistake. Trader sizing error. My other targets would have been around VWAP and then 804. Overall, a nice trade, a nice winner. I did have some decent size on this and a great risk to reward because of the patience. Excuse me. So that brings us over to DOVA. Now, DOVA was a beautiful morning fade. We had a gorgeous thesis in the room. The higher time frame. Let's pull up the jumbo on this one, baby. Jumbotron, DOVA. So DOVA. Now this one had a nice expansion leg. The relative range on this chart is like 67 cents. So the 90-day average, this thing wants to move 67 cents. Now by the time this thing pops up, it's already moved from $10.50 to $15. So we're already at like 400% relative range. To me, that's an extension. That's extended enough, especially coming up into technical resistance. I'm going to hit that. Now, I remember talking in the room, this level right here, $14.21 and $16 was my range. Now, the first thing I want to know is, now I know this thing is going to figure out a direction under this. Is it going to get into this range? If it goes into this range, comes down, retests, and pushes, this thing could trade in this range and beyond. But I'm watching this. I start to nibble in pre-market, watching the bid. Now, there was a little spready in pre-market, but it came up into that zone. The bid did not want to come up from 410 was the highest that I saw it get in pre-market because I'm watching this like a hawk. 410, I waited. I didn't hit 410. I want to see, is this bid going to come up into 420s? Because if it is, I'm going to pull back. I'm switching guns off. Not going to enter, but it doesn't. The bid does not want to come in. They can wick all they want in this range. I'm watching the bid. It does not. We get a nice little flush, and this is not enough for me. I'm thinking that we're going to come back, and I even said in the room that I want this thing to get into that $14.20 to $16 consolidation so I can put some size on it. Now, I had large orders for me personally. I had large orders at $15.98, $15.95. We get a little push right before the bell. Let's enhance. We get a little push before the bell, and I just don't want this thing to sell off because it's got a decent amount of range. It's easy to borrow with some brokers. It's a chance that this thing could just get smacked right at the bell and just boom. So I add a little bit of size early, and then ding, 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 and I'm watching this thing. Now, I think it had a little bit of weakness first, and I said in the room, watch out for that first initial weakness because it might be a trap. We'll see. And it kind of was, but it didn't have enough range to really get too many shorts. It was on top of VWAP, but they can do whatever they want. This starter and this right here, really, in relation to what type of size I wanted to see strength. Now, yeah, I'm in a short position, but I want to size in on this. I know the potential on this, and I like the resistance right here at $14.20 to $16. I'll show you the volume on it. This is all I care about. Now, when I'm looking at the higher time frame chart, the candles, I don't even look at the candles. This is my buddy right here. All of this volume, that's what interests me, this volume. So we wick up, and I start pounding this thing, $14.50, $15, and I have massively sized orders relative to my current position at $16. And you better believe I got a hard stop at $16.26. Now we come down at $13.80, and kind of the same thing with ATOS. I'm trimming at the $14.20 support, which is the lower end of this volume distribution. I'm trimming the position because I really just want this thing to push. I want it to get to 16 bucks. And I also know that if I trim I trim here and we come down, now 1380 was another level for me, but the reason why I trimmed at 1380 was because I wanted to catch low targets, right? Those low prices. That's what I wanted. So I forfeited maybe this target and a possibility for an ad to take this, and then I'm already green money in the trade. Like, this is a winner. So now I'm just setting targets, and I had another target down at 11.53. We didn't catch it, but man, where's my average on this one? But I know I had like a 1440 average, and I'm taking profit at like 1230. So this was a good trade, good amount of profit on it. And then this is not the best right here. I have a thesis where I'm going to size back in, recycle. Remember, I still have like an eighth or a quarter looking for 13s. I size in, I lean into some strength here early, bringing my average way down from like 14 something to like 13. And then I think we have a little confirmation right here, finally catching that wick. I add in my largest size relative to this scale-in strategy, and I have a 13.035 average. Now they're playing a little bit of games here. Smart shorts are scalping this, taking profit. Some guys in the room were covering here, and I was a little bit, I don't know, conceited, cocky, not sure, but I'm saying they're not going to shake me out. I'm taking this thing down. And that did not happen, as you can see. So now I'm carrying enough size to where if I get stopped out at 1371, I think, or 1386, I have a super wide stop on this. If I get stopped out, 75% of my morning's profits on DOVA is gone. So it's a risk-free trade, but now I'm at the mercy of the market, carrying shares into the twilight zone. I'm swinging this. I don't want to be swinging this. That's not part of the plan. We could gap up, but based off of my technical resistance and this chart, I do not think we're going to get past that 1420 again, especially with all this volume we had, but we'll see. Also, two more trade, guys. We are at 27 minutes. All right, XSPA. This one was a little ding-dang. We caught some bank on this. They had a direct offering pre-market. You guys remember yesterday, this thing was just ridiculous. We shorted it all day yesterday for profit. I got in right here at 347. Let's see, how much size did I put on? 200 shares. Was it one order? 400 shares. I take 200 shares off at $3, and I take the other half off at 215. Now, 215 was a short-term technical target. I wish I could say I switched to guns hot and took this baby out, but I did not. I set my targets in hopes of bottom taking every target. Technical analysis is important, but if you don't have the patience to let your targets get hit, it's all for nothing. I think I made the comment in the room that you can have technical analysis skills, but if you don't have the patience to use them, it's like being blind dating a supermodel, if that makes sense. All right, GROW, last thing that we traded today, number 6, taking profit on a little swing ding from yesterday. I got caught on some pushy front side. I think I entered here, and I caught kind of the top. Probably, I want to say I caught up here at 198, but it was probably like around 192. I put my shame face on, and I wanted more. All right, and we're catching big moves, and this coming down here, 10 cents. It didn't interest me. It's not enough meat. I shouldn't have been in this trade, but I'm being honest with you guys. I want, $1, $2 moves. So this 10, 15 cents wasn't enough. I wake up in the morning. I'd take a quick little look at it, and I set targets out 152, 144. We had a massively profitable day. DOVA is the only thing that concerns me. I'm still in a short position, MNLT, and NEVB. Yeah, I'm in 2 swings right now. Things are good. We are starting to catch some fire in the room as well. Let's go over to the room. Remember, this is a little bit of some volume profile analysis. Top tick in RAD. It was rad. And then here is off of my decision points. If you guys ever see green lines on my chart, those are heavy duty decision points. In my opinion, the order flow is going to pick a direction off of that number. So here's an example of NEBV. I forget the name, but this is the 1 minute reaction to this DP, the 3 minute reaction to this DP, and also the 5 minute. Right? Because I want to know, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Because I'm predicting continuation off of my decision points. Also had like 4 guys join the room today. Shout out to those guys. Buckle up, man. We are going for a ride. We just want to get better every day. The room is growing, a lot of knowledge being passed around, and it just excites me. The room is just on fire right now. All right, here's the runners that are in the runners room. Every day we post this, and this is what's on main watch for tomorrow. So NVAX, we had that double top, maybe get a push tomorrow. SEEL, super fade. BLIN, CETX, now it's kind of selling off in pre-market, or after hours, sorry. ATOS, we could get some more. Look at this, just kind of curling up for us tomorrow. And JILL, look at this little wedge right here. Symmetrical wedge. Let's see. Usually these symmetrical wedges will come up and maybe hit the point of control of the wedge, which looks like it's right here. And it's going to pick a direction. We'll see. That'll be on watch tomorrow. And here's that DOVA. Let's just take this thing down tomorrow. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out for 31 minutes. Sorry it's so long, but I just have that passion, and we just want to get better every single day. So take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.